Left-wing British politician Dawn Butler is immensely proud of her ethnicity and thinks it makes her better than everyone else. Miss Butler is allowed to do this because she's black. She posted a bizarre and deeply racist poem. Let's have a look.
You wanted to see me broken, head bowed and tears in my eyes. More fool you didn't realise that my strength is powered by your lies. You are the wrong one, the violent one, the weird one, whereas I am the chosen one. Because I am of the first ones. You see this skin I'm in, this beautiful mahogany brown, this skin you don't like, I believe. So why you try so hard to achieve by burning yourself in the sun? For me there's no need, because I am the chosen one, for I am of the first ones. I know I'm black and beautiful, an African freedom fighter. My skin is my protection, and you, my friend, don't matter, because I am the chosen one. For I am of the first ones. You created a structure that made you seem great, when the simple reality is, it is all fake, because I am the chosen one, for I am of the first ones. So you wanted to see me broken, head bowed and tears in my eyes. More for you haven't realised. My strength is despite your lies.
Yeah, Dawn Butler isn't exactly Martin Luther King, more like Martin Burger King. Dawn is a Labour Party Member of Parliament and former Shadow Minister for Women and Equalities. Some people have suggested that she's a diversity hire, but I personally am absolutely certain that she got selected based on her strong intellect, cordial personality, pleasant body odour and love for this country. Apparently, speaking to white people, she says, "You are the wrong one, the violent one, the weird one. Where was I? I am the chosen one, because I am of the first ones." I mean, it's slightly alarming that a Member of Parliament thinks whereas is where was, but illiteracy is hardly the greatest crime here. Dawn Butler is the sort of person who thinks Wakanda Forever is a documentary. She's saying that because humanity began in Africa, she's better than white people. I mean, it might have began in Africa, but if we're going to be pedantic about civilizational achievements to be proud of, British people invented the steam engine, antibiotics, vaccines, the telescope, the telegraph, the teleprinter, the telephone, the television, the Teletubbies, and African people, well, let's have a look at what Africans invented. Oh, they did actually invent some impressive stuff like the CAT scan. Let's have a look at the African guy who invented that. Alan McCormack. Yeah, African. Well, the cyber tracker was also invented by an African. Here he is, Louis Liebenberg. Ah, Jesus, Dawn, this isn't looking good. Well, what about hanging cowpats on the wall? Surely that was invented by an African. Damn, that was also invented by a white guy, Bobby Sands in the IRA. Still, according to the BBC, the inventor of the telescope, Sir Isaac Newton, was a proud Nubian Hotep. Dawn goes on to say, "This beautiful mahogany brown, this skin you don't like," she cuts to a picture of Kamala Harris, "I believe, so why are you trying so hard to achieve by burning yourself with the sun? For me there's no need, because I am the chosen one." I mean, I've got to be honest, when I'm sunbathing, I'm not lying there with my fingers crossed going, "Man, I hope this makes me look like Dawn Butler." Because if I wanted to look like Dawn Butler, I'd be eating the sun cream. No, when I sunbathe, I just want to look like me, but a bit healthier and slightly less like I've just been rescued from a cave where I had to drink my own urine to survive. Dawn talks about structural racism. Structural is a word left-wing people use instead of imaginary. Nothing in her ideology stacks up. She says black people have no power, but she's a literal member of parliament. She has power. She's part of the ruling party. She says she's discriminated against, but she's free to post insanely racist and divisive conspiracy theories like this one. If a white politician said all this, if David Davis released a calypso song insisting on his racial supremacy, rhyming about why his skin colour makes him one of the chosen ones, and insisting on a racial hierarchy based purely on skin colour and ethnic origin, he wouldn't just be arrested, he'd be sent to a lunatic asylum. Never mind being a member of parliament, he wouldn't be allowed to be a member of the council swimming pool. He would never work again. Also, what was that chair at the end? And what about her heroes that she features in the video, this tableau of what she calls African freedom fighters? It includes men such as Eldridge Cleaver, a convicted serial rapist, a man who praised raping white women as an insurrectionary act. In his 1968 book Soul on Ice, he said, "I felt I was getting revenge. From the sight of the act of rape, consternation spreads outwardly in concentric circles. I wanted to send waves of consternation throughout the white race." Well, at least Dawn is only spreading consternation by making terrible poems. In her collage, there's also Nation of Islam leader Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Muhammad gave a speech in 1993 in which he referred to Jews as the bloodsuckers of blacks and called the Pope a no-good cracker. They also called for all white South Africans to be murdered after a 24-hour warning period. reasonable. And there's fugitive Assata Shakur, who's on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list, who went on the run to Cuba in 1979 after being convicted of murdering a police officer. She's not the only cop killer. The montage also features Mumia Abu Jamal, who murdered Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner in 1981. Dawn is pushing the Hotep conspiracy theory that says that ancient Egypt was a racially homogenous civilization comprised of black Africans. But it wasn't. Ancient Egyptians looked more Mediterranean. I mean, look at this completely historically accurate documentary, and the black sub-Saharan Africans originated, as the name suggests, below the Sahara Desert. But she raises some interesting points about race and identity and Britishness that should concern everyone. She doesn't seem to see herself as British, so maybe this is something that we should consider before importing millions more people. Even though she's born in the UK, she still identifies as African. In her political career, she is repeatedly called to decolonise Britain's national curriculum, and she also served as a member of the all-party parliamentary group of African Reparations. She's only in Parliament because enough people identify with her and vote for her. They don't seem bothered that she uses the language of genocide to describe her host nation. If we import millions more people who see this country in similar regard, and whose children might as well, what will that mean for the balance of power? When people like Dawn become not just a global majority, but a majority in this country, will the language of genocide become actual genocide? And global majority is an interesting term. Global majority as a term was popularised by Rosemary Campbell Stevens, a British-born black academic who believes that black people have demonstrated the best capacity for leadership of any group. Dawn says, as we reclaim the narrative, let us all remember the global majority are the first ones. I mean, the left admit that white people are a tiny and threatened minority in the world, and it's only white nations who are ordered to open their borders to be diversified and have their whiteness abolished. But with only 6% of the world's population being white, by their own dogma, which prioritises protecting and uplifting minorities, are people like Dawn unwittingly making a case that white people are a minority who need to be decolonised to be protected and their indigenous land to be made into reservations? This poem was for Black History Month, which keeps black history separate from white history. Far-right racists must be delighted that we've got mainstream members of parliament judging people based on the colour of their skin, saying that identity is based on ancestry rather than birthplace, and keeping black history separate. People on the left use Black History Month to claim that Africans built Britain. Well, I suppose it was nice of them to build Britain first. But in attacking British history and culture, people like Dawn are creating disharmony that British people will surely reject. Hopefully they'll reject it before they become minorities in their own country, because once that happens, Dawn's examples suggest they won't be treated well by their new rulers, who will subject us to interminable beat poetry and cringe-inducing raps. Yeah, this wasn't Dawn's first offence. To play us out, here's a video of Dawn rapping on a version of So Solid Crew's 21 Seconds. To be fair, Dawn does look so solid.
Dawn Butler Nelson Productions. Come on, 4th of July, don't forget to
We got 21 days to go. We got 21 days to go. If you like, let me know, let me out the shadow. Got 21 days, we gotta go. Wish you had D-Day, where did he go? Say wish you had D-Day, where did he go? Life don't let a liar run the show. Life don't let a liar run the show. If you like me, let me know, let me out the shadow. Got 21 days, we gotta go. 21 days to go. 21 days to go. 21 days to go. 21 days to go. 21 days, say who you like. 21 days to have your say. Tories won't like me anyway, but I won't hesitate. Cause Labour Party are here to stay. We're going to the very top. Cause Tories, their time is up. Cause Tories, they're too corrupt. 21 days to go. Say 21 days to go. If you like me, let me know, let me out the shadow. Got 21 days before they gotta go. Vote Dawn Butler on the 4th of July for Brent East. Okay, allegedly corrupt. Can't afford to get sued. Don't forget to vote, 4th of July.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe and share this video with anyone who you think will be annoyed by it. And if you want to support me making these videos, then consider becoming a Patreon. For as little as £3 a month, you can sign up and get access to exclusive Patreon-only content. There's a full stand-up show on there right now that's just for my patrons, and you can also be a member of a community of the only sane people left in the West. Anyway, thanks for listening. I've been Leo Kears. Bye. Bye-bye.